Welcome to the family. If you enjoy powerful stories and wild adventures, subscribe now, hit like and share with someone who will love it too. The medical bay aboard the Stellar Harmony hummed with the gentle vibration of life support systems as Dr. Kira Vell examined her latest patient. The Altarian female, Nyx, lay on the biobed with her distinctive blue-tinted skin showing signs of distress. Her elongated limbs trembled slightly, and the bioluminescent patches along her neck flickered erratically. "When did the symptoms begin?" Dr. Vell asked, her scanner moving over Nyx's prone form. 3 days ago," Nyx whispered, her voice carrying the melodic quality typical of her species. "It started with fatigue, then the burning sensation in my reproductive tract." Dr. Vell's antennae twitched with concern. As the chief medical officer aboard the joint species research vessel, she'd seen many ailments, but this was puzzling. The scanner's readings showed massive cellular inflammation and an aggressive pathogenic presence, unlike anything in their medical databases. "Have you had any recent intimate contact?" Dr. Vell inquired professionally. Nyx's bioluminescent patches dimmed with embarrassment. "Yes, with Marcus, the human engineer. We've been close for several weeks now." Dr. Vell's compound eyes widened. Interspecies relationships weren't forbidden aboard the Stellar Harmony, but they were rare and potentially complicated. Humans had only joined the Galactic Coalition 5 years ago, and their biology was still being studied. "I need to run comprehensive tests," Dr. Vell said, beginning the deep tissue scans, "and I'll need to contact Marcus for examination as well." As the results materialized on her display, Dr. Vell felt a chill run through her exoskeleton. The pathogen showed characteristics she'd never encountered. It was adapting, evolving in real time within Nyx's system. What made it more alarming was that it seemed to be targeting specifically Altarian cellular structures, almost as if it had been designed for them. "Doctor," Nyx gasped, her breathing becoming labored. "Something's wrong. I can feel it spreading." "Doctor." Vell immediately activated the medical bay's quarantine protocols. Red lights bathed the room as the containment fields hummed to life. She'd seen enough plagues in her career to know when something was truly dangerous. "Nyx, I need you to stay." "Calm," she said, injecting a broad-spectrum antibiotic into the Altarian's IV line. "I'm going to call for Marcus and run every test we have." Within minutes, Marcus arrived, a typical human male with brown hair and concerned eyes. His casual demeanor quickly shifted to alarm when he saw Nyx's deteriorating condition. "What's happening to her?" he demanded. "That's what we need to find out," Dr. Vell replied, gesturing to a second biobed. "I need to examine you as well, immediately." As Marcus submitted to the examination, Dr. Vell's worst fears were confirmed. The human carried the pathogen, but his immune system showed no signs of distress. In fact, the organism seemed to exist, in perfect harmony with his biology. "Am I sick too?" Marcus asked, watching the scanner readings. "No," Dr. Vell replied grimly. "You're not sick at all. That's the problem." The implications hit her like a meteor strike. Humans, the newest members of the Galactic Coalition, carried something that was perfectly benign to them but potentially lethal to other species. This wasn't just a medical emergency. It was a potential extinction-level threat to every species that had welcomed humanity into their midst. As Nyx's condition continued to worsen, Dr. Vell realized she was facing something unprecedented in galactic medical history, a species whose very intimacy could be fatal to their alien partners. Captain Tor of the Stellar Harmony stood in the medical bay's observation deck, his arms crossed as he watched Dr. Vell work frantically on Nyx. The Altarian's condition had deteriorated rapidly over the past 6 hours, her bioluminescence now barely a flicker. "Explain to me how this is possible," Captain Tor demanded, his voice carrying the authority of someone who'd commanded multi-species crews for decades. Dr. Vell looked up from her research station, her antennae drooping with exhaustion. "The pathogen appears to be a retrovirus native to Earth. It's completely harmless to humans. In fact, it's been part of their evolutionary biology for millennia. But when introduced to non-human physiology," she gestured to the holographic display showing Nyx's cellular breakdown, It becomes aggressively pathogenic. It's rewriting her genetic code, trying to force Alterian cells to function like human cells. Her body is rejecting the changes. Marcus paced nearby, his fists clenched. How was I supposed to know? We ran all the standard compatibility tests before we became intimate. The standard tests don't look for dormant retroviruses, Dr. Vell explained. This organism has been so integrated into human DNA that our scanners didn't even recognize it as foreign. It's like trying to separate water from a river. Captain Tor's secondary arms gestured toward the communication panel. Have you contacted the Coalition Medical Council? Not yet, Dr. Vell admitted. If this gets out, it could destroy human-alien relations permanently. Think about it. Humanity has been engaging in diplomatic relations, trade agreements, cultural exchanges for 5 years. How many potential exposures could there be? The weight of that statement settled over the room like a heavy blanket. The Galactic Coalition consisted of 47 different species, each with their own biology, their own vulnerabilities. If humans were unknowing carriers of something that could be lethal to any of them, we need to contact Earth immediately, Captain Tor decided. Their medical authorities need to know about this. Captain, Dr. Vell interrupted, there's something else. I've been analyzing the pathogen's behavior and it's not random. It's specifically targeting Alterian neural pathways and reproductive systems, almost like it's designed to be maximally effective against their biology. Marcus stopped pacing. What are you saying? I'm saying this might not be an accident of evolution. This pathogen shows signs of artificial modification, possibly ancient, but definitely intentional. The implications sent a chill through everyone present. If humans carried a bioweapon designed to target specific alien species, it raised questions about humanity's origins that no one was prepared to confront. Captain Tor activated the ship's emergency communication system. Get me a direct line to both Earth Command and the Coalition Medical Council. Priority 1. As the communication arrays powered up, Nyx's vital signs flatlined momentarily before the medical systems shocked her back to consciousness. Her eyes opened, focusing on Marcus with obvious pain. "Marcus," she whispered. "I don't blame you. You couldn't have known." Dr. Vell checked her readings again. "We're losing her," she announced. "The pathogen has reached her central nervous system. I estimate she has less than 12 hours. Then we have 12 hours to find a cure," Marcus said firmly. "There has to be something we can do." "Maybe," Dr. Vell said, pulling up genetic sequencing data. "If I can isolate the original human retrovirus and understand how it's being modified in Alterian cells, I might be able to create a targeted treatment. But I'll need access to pure human genetic samples and advanced xenobiology equipment. Captain..." Tor nodded grimly. "Whatever you need, but understand if we can't save her, this incident could start a war. 46 species discovering that humanity is an unknowing biological threat to them. The Coalition could vote to quarantine Earth permanently." The room fell silent, except for the steady beeping of Nyx's life support systems. The fate of human-alien. Relations now rested on their ability to cure a disease that shouldn't exist. The research lab aboard the Stellar Harmony had been transformed into a makeshift xenobiology center. Dr. Vell worked alongside Dr. James Park, the human ship's physician, who'd been awakened from cryosleep when the crisis began. Their combined knowledge represented the best hope of understanding the pathogen killing Nyx. "The retrovirus shows characteristics of ancient Earth diseases," Dr. Park explained, manipulating the holographic display. "But there are modifications here that are impossible. These genetic sequences don't exist in nature." Dr. Vell's antennae quivered as she processed the data. "The modifications specifically target non-human DNA repair mechanisms. Look at this. It's designed to exploit the differences between human and Alterian cellular structure." In the medical bay, Nyx's condition continued to deteriorate. Her bioluminescence had faded completely, and her breathing had become shallow and irregular. Marcus sat beside her, holding her hand despite the risk of further exposure. "How long have humans known about this?" Nyx asked weakly. "We didn't know," Marcus insisted, I swear to you we had no idea we carried anything dangerous. Captain Tor entered the medical bay with a grave expression. I've received word from both Earth Command and the Coalition Council. Earth is denying any knowledge of biological weapons, but they're launching their own investigation. The Coalition, they're demanding immediate quarantine of all human personnel in the galaxy. Dr. Vell looked up from her research. Captain, I need to show you something. She activated the main display, showing genetic sequencing data side by side. The pathogen in Nyx doesn't match any known human retrovirus exactly. It's been modified, but not recently. These changes are old, possibly thousands of years old. What does that mean? Marcus asked. It means someone modified human DNA long ago, possibly before humans developed space travel. Someone wanted humans to be biological weapons against specific alien species. The revelation sent shockwaves through the room. Dr. Park leaned forward, studying the data. You're suggesting humans were engineered? By whom? I don't know, Dr. Vell admitted. But look at these targeting sequences. They're designed to affect Altarian physiology specifically. But I'm detecting markers for other species as well. Whoever did this knew about galactic biology, long before humans supposedly made first contact. Captain Tor's expression darkened. Are you saying first contact wasn't humanity's first contact? Before anyone could answer, alarms began blaring. Throughout the ship, the communication array lit up with incoming messages from across the galaxy. Captain, the bridge officer's voice crackled over the intercom. We're receiving reports from 17 different worlds. Human-alien couples are falling ill. The symptoms match what we're seeing here. The scope of the crisis hit everyone simultaneously. This wasn't an isolated incident aboard the Stellar Harmony. It was happening galaxy-wide. How many casualties? Captain Tor asked grimly. 12 confirmed deaths so far, sir. All non-human partners in intimate relationships with humans. The humans show no symptoms. Dr. Vell felt her exoskeleton go cold. It's not just Altarians. The pathogen can target multiple species. Marcus stood up abruptly. This is insane. Humans have been part of the Coalition for 5 years. We've had diplomatic relations, trade agreements, cultural exchanges. If we were carrying something this dangerous, it would have shown up before now. Unless it was designed to activate under specific conditions, Dr. Vell mused. Intimate contact, genetic exchange. It might have required deep biological integration to trigger. Dr. Park was running calculations on his tablet. If this pathogen can target multiple species and it's been dormant in humans for generations, then someone has been planning this for a very long time. The question is, who benefits from humans being expelled from the Coalition? Captain Tor activated the ship's general alert system. All hands, this is the captain. We are now operating under biological warfare protocols. Any human crew members are to report to designated isolation areas immediately. This is not optional. As the human crew members began moving to quarantine, Dr. Vell made a decision that would change everything. I'm going to try something radical, she announced. If this pathogen was artificially created, then it might have artificial weaknesses. I'm going to attempt a direct genetic intervention. On Nyx? Marcus asked, hope creeping into his voice. On both of you, Dr. Vell replied. If I can isolate the trigger mechanism in Marcus's DNA and neutralize it, we might be able to stop the pathogen's spread. It was a desperate gamble, but with reports of deaths mounting across the galaxy, it might be their only chance. The surgical suite aboard the Stellar Harmony hummed with activity as Dr. Vell prepared for the most complex procedure of her career. Both Nyx and Marcus lay on biobeds, connected to an array of monitoring equipment that would track every cellular change during the genetic intervention. Are you certain about this? Dr. Park asked, reviewing the procedure for the 5th time. Direct genetic modification during active infection, the risks are enormous. The risks of doing nothing are greater, Dr. Vell replied, calibrating the nanosurgical array. We've lost contact with the Coalition ships Endeavour and Unity. The political situation is deteriorating rapidly, Captain Tor observed from the sterile viewing area, his 4 arms clasped behind his back. Reports continued. Streaming in from across the galaxy, 23 confirmed deaths now with hundreds more falling ill. The Coalition Emergency Council had voted to implement immediate quarantine protocols for all human-inhabited worlds. "Nix," Dr. Vell said gently, "I need you to stay conscious during the initial phase. Your feedback will help me navigate your neural pathways safely." Nix's voice was barely a whisper. "I understand. Do what you need to do." The procedure began with Marcus. Dr. Vell used targeted nanoprobes to locate the specific retroviral sequences embedded in his DNA. What she found was more disturbing than she'd anticipated. "These modifications aren't random," she announced to the team. "They're precisely engineered. Someone inserted specific genetic sequences designed to create this pathogen when combined with non-human DNA." Dr. Park leaned over the displays. "The precision is incredible. Whoever did this understood both human and alien biology at a level that should be impossible for either species." "There's something else," Dr. Vell continued, her antennae twitching with concentration. "These sequences contain what appear to be pull signatures, genetic markers that identify the creator." Captain Tor activated the intercom. "Doctor, can you trace those signatures?" "I'm trying, but they're encoded in a way I don't recognize. The mathematics are beyond anything in our databases." As Dr. Vell worked to isolate the pathogenic sequences in Marcus's DNA, she began making a startling discovery. The genetic modifications weren't just designed to create biological weapons, they were designed to be reversible. "There's a kill switch," she announced suddenly, "built right into the code. Whoever created this pathogen also created a way to neutralize it." "Can you activate it?" Marcus asked from his biobed. "I'm trying, but it requires a specific genetic key. It's like a lock that needs the right combination to open." Dr. Vell began running through possible combinations, using mathematical sequences from various alien cultures. After 2 hours of failed attempts, she noticed something in the genetic signatures that made her pause. "Captain," she said slowly, "I need to speak with you privately." Captain Tor entered the surgical suite, his expression grim. "What is it, Doctor?" "These genetic signatures, I recognize some of the patterns. They match certain sequences found in Coalition species databases. Not human sequences, alien sequences. The implication hung in the air like a toxic cloud." If the genetic signatures matched alien DNA, it meant the pathogen had been created by someone within the Coalition itself. "Are you saying one of our own species created this weapon?" Captain Tor asked. "Not just any species," Dr. Vell replied, her voice dropping to a whisper. "The mathematical patterns match Valian genetic engineering techniques. The Valians were the founders of the Coalition. They've been studying human biology since first contact." Captain Tor's forearms tensed. "The Valians were among the most advanced species in the Coalition, with technology that often seemed almost magical to other races. If they had engineered humans as unwitting biological weapons, why would they do this?" Captain Tor asked. "I don't know, but I think I can find out. If I can activate the kill switch, it should also reveal the creator's identity." Dr. Vell returned to her work with renewed urgency. Using Valian genetic algorithms, she began inputting sequences that matched their mathematical patterns. After several attempts, something clicked. The genetic kill switch activated with a cascade of cellular changes that rippled through both Marcus and Nix. The pathogen began breaking down at the molecular level, its aggressive replication stopping almost instantly. But as the genetic code unraveled, it revealed something else, a hidden message embedded in the very structure of the pathogen. "Captain," Dr. Vell said, her voice filled with shock, "you need to see this." The message was simple but devastating. Phase 1 complete. Initiating Phase 2. Humanity's integration into the Coalition has served its purpose. The command deck of the Stellar Harmony buzzed with activity as Captain Tor convened an emergency meeting. Dr. Vell had successfully saved Nix and neutralized the pathogen in Marcus, but the hidden message had opened a far more sinister mystery. "Explain to me what Phase 2 means," Captain Tor demanded. His primary arms crossed while his secondary arms gestured at the holographic display, showing the decoded message. Dr. Vell stood beside a three-dimensional representation of the pathogen's genetic structure. The message was embedded using Valian quantum encryption, Only someone with access to their highest-level biotechnology could have created this. Commander Rex, the ship's Valian science officer, shifted uncomfortably in his specialized chair. His crystalline features reflected the bridge lighting as he spoke. "Captain, I must protest. The Valian High Council would never authorize biological warfare against coalition species. Yet the evidence is right here," Dr. Park interjected, highlighting the genetic signatures. These modifications required knowledge of human, Altarian, and 17 other species biologies. The Valians are the only race with access to that comprehensive genetic data. Captain Tor activated the ship's secure communication array. "I'm calling for an immediate conference with Coalition Command. We need answers." As the communication protocols engaged, Nyx spoke up from her recovery bed, her voice stronger now that the pathogen was neutralized. "There's something you should know. Before I got sick, Marcus and I weren't the first human-alien couple on this ship to be intimate." All eyes turned to her. "What do you mean?" Captain Tor asked. "Engineering Officer Lisa and Communications Specialist Kale from the Centauri delegation. They've been together for months, but Kale never got sick." Dr. Vell's antennae twitched with sudden understanding. "Centaurians have silicon-based biology. The pathogen was designed specifically for carbon-based species. So whoever created this knew exactly which species to target," Marcus realized. "They wanted to eliminate specific coalition members while leaving others unharmed." The secure communication array crackled to life, displaying the image of Admiral Voss, the coalition's supreme commander. His expression was grave. "Captain Tor, we've been analyzing the crisis across all coalition worlds. The pattern is becoming clear. Every affected species shares specific genetic markers that make them compatible with human reproductive biology." Dr. Vell felt her exoskeleton chill. "They're targeting species that could interbreed with humans." "Precisely," Admiral Voss confirmed. "Meanwhile, reports are coming in of increased Valian military activity near human-colonized worlds. Their fleets are moving into position around Earth and its colonies." Commander Rex stood abruptly. "Admiral, with respect, correlation does not imply causation. The Valians have been protectors of the Coalition for centuries." "Have they?" Admiral Voss asked pointedly. "Captain, we've discovered something disturbing in our archives. The original first contact between humans and the Coalition. It was orchestrated by the Valians. They specifically sought out humanity and encouraged their rapid integration into galactic society. The revelation hit everyone like a physical blow. Humanity's entrance into the galactic community hadn't been the result of chance encounters or gradual discovery. It had been planned. "But why?" Marcus asked. "What do the Valians gain from this?" Dr. Vell was already running calculations. "Control," she said simply. "Think about it. Humans are naturally aggressive, technologically adaptable, and now proven to be unknowing biological weapons against specific species. If you could control humanity, you could eliminate your competitors in the Coalition while appearing innocent," Captain Tor finished. Admiral Voss nodded grimly. "We believe the Valians have been planning this for decades, possibly centuries. They've been studying human biology, manipulating first contact, and positioning themselves to take control of the Coalition by eliminating species that might oppose them." Commander Rex's crystalline features darkened. "These accusations are baseless. The Valian High Council has been placed under arrest," Admiral Voss interrupted. "Coalition security forces moved in 3 hours ago. We found evidence of the genetic modification programs in their primary research facilities." The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. The Vailians, one of the founding members of the Galactic Coalition, had been planning a biological code that would have eliminated dozens of species while positioning humanity as their unwitting weapon. "What happens now?" Dr. Vell asked. "Now we move to Phase 2, Admiral Voss replied. "But our Phase 2, stopping the Valians before they can complete their plan. Intelligence suggests they're planning to activate additional biological weapons, ones that could affect the remaining Coalition species." Captain Tor straightened in his command chair. "What are our orders, Admiral?" "Proceed to Valian Prime. Your ship has the only successful treatment for the pathogen. We need that information, and we need to stop whatever they're planning next." As the stellar harmony changed course toward the heart of Valian space, everyone aboard realized they were heading into the center of a conspiracy that threatened the very foundation of galactic civilization. The stellar harmony dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Valian system, immediately detecting the massive fleet assembled around Valian Prime. Hundreds of crystalline ships hung in perfect formation, their surfaces reflecting the system's binary stars like deadly jewels. 67 Valian dreadnoughts, reported Navigation Officer Kim. They're broadcasting standard diplomatic channels, but their weapons are powered. Captain Tor studied the tactical display. Dr. Vell, how's the pathogen cure distribution going? We've transmitted the treatment protocols to all Coalition medical facilities, Dr. Vell replied from her station. The cure is working, but we've lost over 200 beings across 17 worlds. Commander Rex remained at his post, despite the revelation about his species. Captain, I request permission to handle initial communications. Many of those ships contain people I've served with for decades. Granted, Captain Tor nodded, but remember, Commander, we're here to stop a genocide, not negotiate. As Rex opened communication channels with the Valian fleet, Dr. Vell continued her analysis of the pathogen's genetic structure. What she'd discovered in the past few hours had shaken her to her core. Marcus, she called to the human engineer, I need to show you something. Marcus approached her research station, where a complex genetic map rotated in three-dimensional space. What am I looking at? Your DNA, specifically the modified sequences. But look at this. They're not just designed to create pathogens. They're designed to make humans more compatible with Valian biology. The implications hit Marcus immediately. They were planning to breed with us. Not just breed, Dr. Vell corrected. Control. The modifications enhance human susceptibility to Valian pheromone control. They were turning humanity into a controllable slave species. Captain Tor's communication array crackled to life as Commander Rex completed his negotiations. Captain, the Valian High Command has agreed to meet. They're requesting you and Dr. Vell transport to their flagship for negotiations. Absolutely not, Captain Tor replied. We'll meet on neutral ground. Sir, Rex continued, they're claiming the pathogen was a test, that they were trying to identify biological incompatibilities before they became a larger problem. Dr. Park laughed bitterly. A test that killed over 200 beings. That's not a test, that's a weapon. The ship's sensors suddenly detected massive energy buildups throughout the Valian fleet. Captain, reported the tactical officer, all Valian ships are charging their weapons. Red alert, Captain Tor announced. All hands to battle stations. But instead of firing on the stellar harmony, the Valian fleet turned their weapons toward the inner system, toward Valian Prime itself. What are they doing? Marcus asked. Commander Rex's crystalline features reflected his confusion. I don't understand. They're targeting the planetary defense grid. Suddenly, the answer became clear to Dr. Vell. They're not trying to defend the planet. They're trying to destroy evidence. The Valian fleet opened fire on their own homeworld, systematically destroying research facilities, data centers, and government buildings. Massive explosions bloomed across the planet's surface as centuries of Valian civilization burned. Captain, Rex said, his voice hollow, I'm receiving a message from the planetary surface. It's from my mentor, Dr. Zeval. She says the High Command has gone rogue, that they're destroying everything to prevent the Coalition from learning the full extent of their plan. Can we get to the surface? Captain Tor asked. The orbital defenses are down, reported the tactical officer, but there's massive atmospheric interference from the bombardment. Dr. Vell made a decision that would change everything. I'm going down there. If Dr. Zeval has information about the full extent of the Valian plan, we need it. It's too dangerous, Marcus protested. More dangerous than letting them complete their genocide? Dr. Vell countered. They've already proven they can create biological weapons targeting specific species. We need to know what else they've planned. Captain Tor nodded grimly. Prepare the shuttle. Dr. Vell, Commander Rex, and a security team will attempt planetary insertion. Dr. Park, you'll coordinate medical support from here. As the shuttle launched toward the burning planet below, everyone aboard realized they were racing against time. The Valians were destroying their own civilization to hide their crimes, but somewhere in that devastation lay the key to preventing a galactic genocide. The shuttle descended through smoke-filled skies toward a world tearing itself apart, carrying the hope of saving an entire galactic civilization. The shuttle Endeavour touched down on Valian Prime amid the ruins of what had once been the galaxy's most advanced research complex. Crystalline spires lay shattered across the landscape, their fragments reflecting the fires that consumed the planet's surface. Dr. Vell led the team through the devastation, her scanner guiding them toward the source of Dr. Zival's transmission. The Valian scientist had barricaded herself in an underground laboratory, one of the few structures still intact. "Dr. Zival," Commander Rex called as they descended into the facility. "It's Rex. We're here to help." The elderly Valian emerged from behind a pile of crystalline debris, her usually pristine form scarred and dusty. "Rex, you shouldn't have come. They'll destroy everything to prevent the truth from emerging." "What truth?" Dr. Vell demanded. "We know about the biological weapons, the genetic manipulation of humans. What else is there?" Dr. Zival activated a holographic display showing genetic sequences that made Dr. Vell's antennae tremble with recognition. "The pathogen you cured was just the beginning. Phase 2 isn't another biological weapon. It's a complete genetic rewrite." The display showed DNA structures for dozens of species, all modified with the same underlying pattern. "They weren't planning to kill the coalition species," Dr. Zival explained. "They were planning to transform them." "Transform them into what?" Commander Rex asked. "Into humans," Dr. Vell whispered, understanding flooding through her. "They were going to use humanity as a template to rewrite every species in the coalition." Dr. Zival nodded grimly. The Valian High Command discovered something about human genetics that terrified them. Humans adapt faster than any known species. Their genetic code is remarkably flexible, capable of rapid evolution in response to environmental pressures. She activated another display, showing comparative evolutionary charts. "Most species take millions of years to evolve significant changes. Humans have shown measurable genetic adaptation within single generations." "But why would they want to turn everyone into humans?" Marcus asked. "Because," Dr. Zival replied, "they discovered that human genetics contain something unique, something that makes them naturally resistant to Valian control methods." The revelation hit everyone like a physical blow. Dr. Vell processed the implications rapidly. That's why they modified human DNA with susceptibility sequences. Pure humans couldn't be controlled, so they had to alter them. "Exactly," Dr. Zival confirmed. "But the modifications weren't stable. Human genetics kept rejecting the Valian alterations. So they changed their plan. Instead of controlling humans, they decided to make everyone else human." Commander Rex stared at the data in horror. "They were going to commit genetic genocide against every species in the coalition. And blame it on humanity," Dr. Vell added. "When the transformations began, they would have presented it as human biological imperialism. The coalition would have turned against Earth, and the Valians would have emerged as the only species capable of protecting the galaxy from human expansion." Dr. Zival activated the facility's main data core. "I've preserved everything. All their research, all their plans. The genetic transformation virus is already manufactured and ready for deployment. They were planning to release it through the coalition's water supplies within days." "Where are the virus samples?" Dr. Vell asked urgently. "Orbiting research stations throughout coalition space," Dr. Zival replied. 47 stations, one for each member world. They can be remotely activated." Captain Tor's voice crackled through their communicators. "Away team, report. The Valian fleet is breaking formation and heading for the system's edge." "Captain," Dr. Vell responded, "they're not retreating. They're going to activate the genetic transformation virus on every coalition world simultaneously." "Estimated time to activation?" Captain Tor asked. Dr. Zival checked her readings. 6 hours until they reach optimal deployment positions. Dr. Vell made a decision that would define the future of galactic civilization. "Dr. Zival, can the transformation virus be modified?" "What do you mean?" "Instead of transforming other species, into humans, can we modify it to enhance their existing genetics? Give them the same adaptive advantages that humans have naturally. Dr. Zevil's crystalline features showed surprise. Theoretically, yes, but it would require completely rewriting the viral programming. We'd need access to pure human genetic samples and advanced quantum computing. We have both, Dr. Vell said, looking at Marcus. And we have something else. We have the trust of the Coalition. If we can turn the Valian's weapon into a gift, we can save everyone. Commander Rex stepped forward. Dr. Zival, I know you've lost faith in our species, but help us fix this. Help us turn genocide into evolution. As explosions continued to rock the planet above them, the small team began the most important work in galactic history, transforming a weapon of destruction into a tool of enhancement that would give every species in the Coalition the genetic advantages that made humanity so adaptable. The fate of galactic civilization now rested on their ability to turn the Valian conspiracy on its head and unite the galaxy through the very genetics they had sought to weaponize. In the RSI end, humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy wouldn't be their technology or their warrior spirit. It would be their capacity for adaptation, shared freely with every species willing to embrace the future together.